It's time for laughs, it's time for fun, it's time to learn for everyone at Nana's Cooking Craft Corner.
In this video, you will need a wide mouth funnel, vinyl coated jar lifter, vinyl coated tongs, magnetic lid lifter, assorted mason jars with lids and rims, pre-cut pumpkin, a pressure canner, and hot water. Hello, and welcome back to Nana's Cooking Craft Corner. On today's show, we're going to learn how to can pumpkins. You need a small clean pumpkin, and you're going to cut it in chunks like this. And you're going to clean it off, and then you're going to cut it into sections, and you're going to sit there. I'm going to just cut a piece here to show you. And then you're going to cut it into 1/2-inch pieces, like I have over in this pile over here, okay? So you're going to do the whole pumpkin, clean it, and then cut it into 1/4-inch pieces so far. Now I'm going to sterilize the jars and the rims. I put it to my pressure canner, and I put the water above the top of the highest jar. And we're going to boil it, like I said, and sterilize it. I'm going to add the rims. Now the lids will be put in later on after I put the pumpkin in the jars, but I want to stress that you must use a separate seal, a new seal, every time you seal a jar. Do not reuse the seals. Okay, I'm going to remove all the jars, the sterilized jars, from the pressure canner. I take the pumpkin that we cut up in 1/2-inch squares, and we're going to load it into the jars, this hot sterilized jars. Now you're going to allow a 1/2-inch headspace. I'm going to show you that in 1 minute. Now that they're all full, we're going to take that boiled hot water, and be careful, we're going to pour it up that it reaches about 1/2-inch from the top. Okay, so now I'm going to take all the air bubbles out, and if you need to add a little bit of hot water, now's your time to, when we take the air bubbles out, the water shrinks down. Go all along, get rid of all the air bubbles. Next, I'm going to put into that boiling water the lids. Now's the time to put the lids in. Now I'm going to put the lids in there and process them for, not that long, maybe a minute or so, to get them sterilized, and they'll seal better. So now we're going to remove the lids and the seals, and we're going to put it on the jars, and just finger tight, and continue doing the rest of the jars the same way. Now you're going to put all of them in the pressure canner. Be careful, remember they're still hot. And the water that's in the pan is the same. I just dumped some of the water out and left about 2 inches in the pressure canner. Now I want to point out that the bigger jars, which are the quarts, need to process for 90 minutes. The smaller ones are the pints, and they're 55 minutes. But because we have quarts, they have to all be processed for 90 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to put the lid on here and make sure it's really on tight. I'm going to turn up the heat, and we're going to let this process until the steam gets it to between, for my altitude, it's 11. But depending on where you are, your altitude could change for how many pounds it is. So you're going to have to look at your manual for your pressure canner. Okay, so I just want to point out that you're going to have to wait till the steam builds up, and then you're going to vent it for 10 minutes. And I will get back to you at this point when it begins. So now it's starting to steam. What I'm going to do is set the timer so that it'll vent for 10 minutes. Using an oven mitt, because this is extremely hot, we're going to put the weight on. Okay? And we're going to wait till it reaches 11 pounds of pressure, for me anyways. To 11 pounds of pressure. And so we're going to let this cook for 90 minutes, and we'll get back to you as soon as it's done. Temperature's all the way down to 0. The safety button's down. And I took the weight off too. Now we're going to release it slowly. And making sure that the lid's away from you, because the steam will come out and it's awfully hot. We're going to take it out. Now we're going to take all the jars out. Like so. And you can see they're still boiling. They're extremely hot. You're going to let them cool down until you'll hear a pop and they're sealed. And you'll check the lid in 24 hours to make sure that the seal's on firm. I wanted to show you something. I made these last year, and you're going to see here the seal pop. See? Like that. And it looks like this. We're going to dump it into a strainer, and we use a smasher and let it, all the excess water drip out. Okay, and there you have it. Just let it drain a bit, and there's your pumpkin puree. Now I've also done a video of pumpkin tarts, and you'll see that I use this pumpkin puree, my homemade pumpkin puree. Well anyways, bye from Nana, and I hope to see you soon.